Python has many distributions. Like we said, Python is a programming language. When we say a distribution, does anybody know what a distribution is, for instance? I know if there are some Linux admins in here, you probably know what a distro is, right? The short form for distribution is a distro. You might need to unmute if you want to speak up, and there's no wrong answer. If you have an idea, vague idea, then we can talk about it.
Should it be like flavors, different things?
Definitely, that's a flavor, right? So let's take, for instance, with Windows. Many people are familiar with Windows, right? Windows systems, when you go and buy a computer, you have to decide, or well, normally you don't have to decide. They'll tell you this computer uses Windows 10, Windows 11. If it was back in the days, maybe Windows 95 when I started using computers, Windows NT, Windows 2000, and so on and so forth. Those are different versions. When Microsoft creates their computers, right? They create their computers with an operating system. So the computer has a platform. A platform, think about a stage. When you go on stage, that stage has a platform. On that stage, you might have Petit Pays come to the stage and sing and go. You have Ted Boulay come to the stage, sing and go. Rihanna will come to the stage, sing and go. Those are all people coming to the stage. It's a platform. So operating system is a platform. With Windows, you have with PCs, you have Windows operating system, right? With Macs, you have the Mac operating system. Linux also has its operating systems. But when you have a company like Linux, which has open source depending on Unix, they might decide that they want certain things to be packaged together with their operating system when they ship it out. So think about Brasseries du Cameroon. Maybe you have a certain brewery. In that brewery, they're going to decide that we're going to package sweet drinks and send this one out as Gino cocktail. Package these drinks and send it out as Beaufort. Package these drinks and send it out as Tweetway Export. Those are different distributions. Those are different flavors, like you said. With Python, there's a standard version, which is CPython. It's built on the C language, okay? But you also have different distributions. If you like to be using Python for commercial reasons and to do scientific stuff, maybe data science or analytics and so on, then you probably want to go and use the Anaconda Python distribution. If you're going to use it for data scientists or enterprise stuff, then the active Python distribution will work for you, because all of these other distributions depend on CPython, okay? So when we want to install Python, we need to know what distribution we are going to install on our computer. If you're looking at a Mac operating system comes with Python pre-installed. That would be the CPython, which is the standard version. Linux operating system also comes with the standard Python version installed. But for Windows does not come with standard version installed. So we'll need to get some kind of version of Python to install on there to utilize it. Does this make sense? Good. Okay, good for the thumbs up. Yes, question. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, my question is which shall I say flavor or distribution of Python is the most popular one, like the one that is mostly used by other companies? You know how, for example, we can say Toyota is the most, when it comes to cars, we can say Toyota is the most used cars all over the world kind of thing. I was just thinking, like, okay, flavor-wise, which one is the most popular? Which flavor is the most popularly used? I was just curious.
Very, very good question. Which of these flavors is popular? Now, I will have to give you the $1 million answer on that one. It depends. Why do I say that? It depends on which environment you find yourself in, okay? If you're in a situation or a company that's working on Microsoft Windows, then you'll probably find WinPython. That's going to be popular. If it's a company that works on maybe mobile applications and thinking about portable systems, then they'll probably be using Python Portable, which is self-contained for mobile, self-contained system per se. But like I said, all of these flavors are derived from CPython, except say you are working in a company that uses Java to build everything. They use the Java ecosystem for all their software and so on and so forth. So they depend on the Java virtual machine. So they'll definitely be using JPython or Jython. If it's if it's .NET ecosystem, which is also another Microsoft stuff, then IronPython. But Anaconda Python is probably the most popular. Why I say that is because it comes pre-packaged with a lot of math, science, data science, and statistics stuff. And as you can see previously, let me go back a couple slides, permit me. Data analytics is the most popular area where Python is being used. So in data analytics, most people are going to be using Anaconda. So that again takes a bunch of that. But if it's for educational purposes, maybe less people are using the other flavors of Python. But CPython is the standard. Anaconda Python will probably be the most popular. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And I had a follow-up question. My follow-up is which one are we going to be learning in this class? That's my follow-up question.
Excellent, excellent. So all of them have the same syntax. Let me just make that clear. All of them have the same syntax. It just depends on which runtime environment you're going to be using. So at the end of the day, when you look at distributions again, whether you're going to be drinking whichever type of drink, you will still be using the same cup or the same glass or the same, what do you call it, bottle, okay? So CPython is just the distribution that everything resides on. But when we want to install Python, if you're going to be using Windows or Mac or Linux, all the Python that we're going to write is going to be the same. It's going to be the same language, but the person that's going to be translating it behind the scenes is going to be different. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. You're welcome. I had another hand up. I think I might have missed it. Does anyone have another question? All right, yes, Aaron, please go ahead.
Yeah, are we supposed to know what distribution we are using?
Very good question. We are really not supposed to know what distribution we are using, but what I'll do is I'll give you guys the link to read up more on this at your leisure. You don't really need to know it, but it's something that's useful to help you open your eyes to, you know, what exactly it is that we're learning in Python. And in case you go to an interview or if you see someone has a post out there for a job and they say, hey, they need you to know this and that and that. Okay, it gives you an idea to know that, okay, I don't know CPython, or I have never used Jython because Jython is a Java version of Python, but I've used CPython in everything that I know. Okay, so here is the link. I'm going to share it with you guys in the chat. So let me post that in there. You can go directly to it. It's from InfoWorld. It actually breaks down all these different flavors of Python. Okay, so as you can see, CPython, you can read more on the use cases, the limitations, and Anaconda Python, the use cases, limitations, and so on and so forth. Okay, so there's a ton of them. We don't need to go through all of them, but if you need to read up more on that, it gives you an idea what exactly is a distribution and how Anaconda Python, the separate use cases, as you can see, is for math, statistics, engineering, which is the most popular of all the uses of Python. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah, thanks.
You are welcome. So
quick question. So
yes, go for it.
On that last slide, yes. The WinPython for Windows users, for example, I will be using Windows. Yep. If I install that, will I have the option to cherry pick, like, yes, I'm picking WinPython, but I want Anaconda version, or it comes pre-packaged with all of that? I'm not sure.
Excellent question. No, I love that question. So when you want to install Python, which was going to be the next thing we'll talk about, obviously, let me go back to our old slide. There you go. So when you want to install Python, right, it's up to you now what version you want to install. If I go in and search on python.org, obviously, they're going to give me the standard version of Python. Okay. So if I go to python.org and I want to download, it's going to tell me, give me just the standard version of Python. If I need to get the Anaconda version, I need to go to Anaconda, and then you'll see Anaconda products distribution. This would be the Anaconda version. If I want WinPython, I'll have to go to WinPython and so on. So it's up to you to decide whichever one you want. But like I said, in here, you can see the use cases. Anaconda, again, is pretty popular because it comes with all of these SciPy, NumPy, Number, all those libraries, which we'll talk about, libraries and packages shortly. So depending on what thing you want to use Python for, because Python is used for so many different things. If you want to use it for visualization, then you have to use the one that has visualization packages that you can leverage. If you want to use it for Windows products, then you have to go look for WinPython. If not, just get your standard CPython. With that standard CPython, you can add your libraries individually. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm happy
So
to have that flexibility.
Excellent. So we know, for instance, in Africa, we have different flavors of jollof rice, but the base is rice. The rice must be there. So CPython is just like the rice. If you decide that you want to cook Senegalese jollof rice, then you have to figure out what different ingredients that you need to use to be able to get Senegalese jollof rice, which might be the Anaconda Python. If you decide that you want to cook Nigerian jollof rice, then you find all the ingredients that you need to be able to get that. Or maybe just go ahead and buy the Nigerian jollof rice as it is. Or if you want a mixture of both of them, then you can go ahead and get all the spices that you need to be able to make that. Does that make sense? Awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. I love those questions. Keep them coming and do not hesitate. Oops, that's not where I want to be. Do not hesitate to ask any questions when it comes up. So we've talked about those different distributions. The reason I wanted to talk about distributions is because I want us to understand that before we get to installing.